Thank you guys for being here. Good afternoon. Are we ready to start? Okay, fantastic. Momentarily.
You let me know when we're ready.
You guys ready to go? Yep. Okay, anytime.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you. Thank you all for being here today. As you're aware, the Pasco County Board of County Commissioners declared a local state of emergency yesterday at 13:30. Shortly after that, I signed an evacuation order for levels A, B, and C in Pasco County. Level A being a mandatory, with B and C being highly recommended. Leading up to and following these events, this team here next to me, as well as those that aren't here, has been working tirelessly around the clock to ensure the safety of our community, which is our paramount priority here. We've been coordinating with National Weather Service, as well as State Division of Emergency Management, and partnering with our neighboring counties. And again, all of this to ensure the safety of our residents, as well as the entire community. I really only want to say one thing of importance here, and that is to take this storm seriously. And for those of you that have evacuated and are executing your plans, thank you for doing that. I still see a lot of complacency out there, and I get it. As a resident here, lived in the Tampa Bay area my whole life, I understand it can't happen to us, but I tell you, it can happen to us. And I hope this path changes. We're seeing some things that give us hope, but I pray that it changes its course and that it doesn't affect us, but we have to plan as if it will. And again, if you think that 14 to 17 feet of water doesn't translate into something significant, that's a mistake, and you will put yourself at risk. And there will be a point where our first responders won't be able to get to you, and we don't want that to happen to anyone. We owe it to our families. We owe it to our loved ones. I ask that as a community we come together, we help each other, we be civil, and again, we will get through this. As a matter of keeping in touch with the latest information, please, I ask that you follow us on mypasco.net. Our customer service line here at Pasco County is open 24 hours. That number is 727-847-2411. Again, that's 727-847-2411 to get the latest information. So thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Director Fossa right now, who will give you some more information on the event.
Thank you, sir. Currently, we've been monitoring the weather conditions within Pasco County, and as you've seen in the latest update, that the storm is starting to track south of us. That does not put us out of danger. We are still expecting a significant storm surge, and we're expecting at least 20 inches of rain over the next 60 hours. We are going to have high winds. We are going to get flooded. We have rivers that are already in action stage in Pasco County, which means they are out of their banks. The evacuations, please heed the warning. If you're a citizen of Pasco County, I would talk to you and say to you guys, Wednesday afternoon, if you can avoid being on the roads, please do so. The bands will start coming in early Wednesday morning. We'll start getting some tropical gusts, but by mid-afternoon and into the evening, we are going to start feeling tropical storm force winds at a sustained speed of 39 miles or higher. We're also going to start impacting some hurricane force winds that will be gusts. We have 10 shelters open at this time throughout the county. 5 of those shelters are pet friendly. The remaining are not. You can go on to mypasco.net and look at the map on there, and you can find that shelter. Sandbag locations. We have hit an all-time high for the distribution of sandbags. We've put out over 260,000 sandbags. So with that being said, we're having to limit the amount per household. So please, only 10 per household. Please be patient while you're in line. Tempers are starting to flare. We don't want nobody getting hurt. This can be, like Mr. Karbala said, It's got to be a community effort. We all have to be in this together. It cannot be a one-man show, so please work together. We're also, Mike, I'll reiterate the customer service line, 727-847-2411. You can call in to report any damages. If you have any questions about shelters, the customer service line is here to help you. And like emergency management is, we are going to weather the storm out, and we are here to assist the citizens of Pasco County. Thank you. And I'm now going to turn it over to Chief Casson.
Thank you, Director Fossa. So from the fire rescue perspective, we are closely monitoring the weather conditions, just as all of you should be. And we want to make sure that everybody is aware of their evacuation zones. There are several in Pasco County, and as already previously mentioned, evacuations are mandatory in Zone A and recommended for B and C. And as also it's been mentioned, we want you to take this very seriously. Fire rescue will operate just as normal as we always do. However, there will become a time where it becomes too dangerous for even our crews to be out there to rescue you. So it is very, very important that you heed those warnings and get out of harm's way. Currently, when the storm makes impact into Pasco County, when the winds start reaching 40 miles per hour sustained or greater, we begin to start to shut down our operation because, again, like I said, it becomes too dangerous for us to be out there. Once the sustained winds get to 50 miles an hour, and that's between a tropical storm and a hurricane, so it's not a lot of wind. When it gets to 50 miles an hour or greater, we shut down, and it depends on where in the county that wind is, but that doesn't mean we shut down throughout the entire county, just in that location where those winds are. All right. Also, it's already been mentioned about the shelters. There are plenty of storm shelters located throughout Pasco County. They are open, and you can go there, and the time to do that is now, not later, not tomorrow. We will experience lengthened response times most likely if you do call 911, especially on the west side of the county, and that is because some of our fire stations are actually located in an evacuation zone. So we will have to, at some point, relocate the crews out of those stations, again, for their safety, to another station nearby. So what that does is it causes some of our response times to be lengthened. Another thing to keep in mind, we've had a lot of people say, I'm just going to stick this out because they've done it before. If you do that and you have to call 911, you might not even be able to call 911 because the cell towers may be down. You may not have power at your home. The internet could be down. There's all kinds of things that could happen. So again, heed the warnings. If you're in evacuation zone A, please get out now. If you have a generator, a lot of people have gone out and bought generators. We've seen this happen a lot. Make sure that you operate those generators outside where there's clear air. Do not try to operate a generator indoors. Very, very important. Okay, that's it for me. I'm going to now turn it over to Sheriff Chris Nacco.
Thanks, Chief. I want to start by thanking our County Administrator, Mike Carbala. Mike's done a phenomenal job as, we're working on this, gathering together as a team. We're getting calls, from the governor's office, Governor DeSantis, our federal partners, our U.S. senators, our state senators, our House members. Everybody's reaching out, and they're saying, hey, what can we do now, and what can we do after the storm? And so this is one of those things I can tell you within Pasco County. Our training with fire rescue at our level 1 FEMA rubble fields, this is where, God forbid, if those situations come in, this is where we are prepared for these type of situations. So a couple of things just to make sure everybody's aware of. If you are leaving, you're going out of the area, you're going to a shelter, you're just, going to another city, somewhere else, please notify your loved ones. Please call them up. I always say don't put things on social media, but this is the one time you may want to put on social media where you're going. Because I can tell you from our standpoint as first responders, we will start getting calls from your loved ones when they can't contact you, when they're concerned about you. So then now you're going to start putting law enforcement officers, our deputies, fire rescue into a bad situation, trying to look for people that are already safe. Or meanwhile, there are other rescues we may have to make. There are other people we do have to handle. And I can tell you right now, like the chief alluded to, we're still handling calls for service. Our deputies are going out there working calls for service right now, crime that's going on, other issues that are occurring along with fire rescue. So, make sure you're aware of that. But I go back to that point. Please tell your loved ones where you are going so that they're not concerned and they don't contact us. Heed all the evacuation orders. Please listen. The county EM is putting out those orders. We're putting them out there on our social media site. Please heed those warnings, because what we don't want is, things to shift very quickly and you wished you had made different decisions when you could have. The other one is, as everybody can imagine, we're dealing with a mental health crisis right now. All you have to do is go to the gas stations. You have to just go to a supermarket, a convenience store, and you will see people upset, stressed. We all understand that, but realize what you keep hearing over and over again, we're all in this together. So, take an extra moment. So there's not gas at that pump. We'll still get you to where you need to be. Things will work out. There will be plenty of water. We will get resources in here. But it's not worth being angry, people. It's not worth getting upset. It's not that extra stress that you're putting on yourself and other people. You're not alone. If there's no other way we can say it, we're going to tell you that. You're not alone. We're all in this together. We're all dealing with this together. So please recognize that. So as I go back to that, be kind. It's better to be kind to one another. It's better to be patient than it is to get angry. Because anger isn't going to change the situation we're in. All it's going to do is make it worse. So the other one too is, so after the storm, and I already used to get into that, we don't know where the storm's going. We're not sure if it's going to be an east side effect, west side effect within the county. It could shift at any moment. We know it's Mother Nature. So we don't know where this is going. So don't automatically assume things are going to happen. But, I could say for after the storm, if you're in a shelter, you're someplace and you have electricity, you have air conditioning, stay there for a little bit. Wait until you get the all clear from people saying you can go back in those neighborhoods, because what we don't want is people piling up on the streets, people getting angry because they can't get back to their houses. I can tell you, your Pasco deputies will be out there. They will be working hard. We will be doing everything we can to secure the houses and neighborhoods that we're going through and going into, but don't make that mad rush back into those locations. It's not going to work well. All you're going to do is cause more chaos out there, more frustration for yourself, and you're just going to be sitting in your car, because we won't be able to get you back in those neighborhoods until we know the power lines are up, everything's safe and secure. A couple of things from our preparedness standpoint from the Pasco Sheriff's Office. Our swift water response team is ready to roll. All our units are ready to roll. We've had people in our centers getting ready for the past several days, but we do have our response teams ready. We've done this in the past. We'll be ready in the future. Our chainsaw teams are ready to go. We're going to be working with fire rescue, making sure those roads are clear. As soon as the storm passes, we'll know where all the trees are down. We'll be able to go out there and cut down so we can get those roads back up again. But for emergency services and for electrical crews, please let them be the priority out there so they can go back there and get the power back on, and we can respond to those people that need to be rescued or saved. The other one too is our high water vehicle response teams. Those are the vehicles that we have that people look at and say, what do you need them for? Well, this is why we need them. It's for these type of situations. They will be out there. They will be ready to go out there to respond to situations as they occur. And our aviation search and rescue units. We have numerous units that will be able to go up there and fly, give us surveillance, understand where the worst damage are so that we can respond to that. So I go back to it. When things are at their worst, we will be at our best. We are ready to go. We have teams that have been training for this. We're prepared for this. But now it's about praying too. Asking God to make sure, we wish the storm just dissipates. Nobody in Florida gets hit. But the one thing goes back to, we're Floridians. We deal with this. We will get over this, and we'll be stronger because of it. So with that being said, we appreciate it. Thank you all very much. And as the messaging comes out, please push it out there. Please get it out far and wide, because as I said, the storm can shift at any moment. But the team that we have in place with our county administrator, we're doing great things. We're working well together. And that's because as a community, we're all in this together. All right. Any questions?
In terms of the evacuations, the mandatory, is someone going to go and knock on doors, or is that just saying if you're not
Okay.
there, whoever can answer that?
So I'll let Mr. Fossa go into it. I'll just end it from our standpoint as the Sheriff's Office. We're getting the message out there. We're telling people far and wide, please evacuate, but it's ultimately your decision. The Sheriff's Office is not going to be going out there and pulling people out of their houses. It's ultimately your decision.
Right.
Yeah.
The sandbags, you said more than, was it 260,000?
260,000 sandbags have been distributed. We got to the point today that we were actually out of sandbags. We reached out to our neighboring county, Hillsborough County, and they were gracious enough to donate loan us 125,000 more.
I saw the line.
So the lines are very long. People are grabbing them left and right. That's why we had to limit it to 10 bags per household. And like the sheriff said, be kind. This is a community event. We don't need tempers flaring out at the sandbag sites. We don't need the fights at the sandbag sites. Take your time. You'll get bags, and we'll keep pushing it. Another item that I wanted to mention was for the elderly population and the citizens that do not have transportation to shelters, they can contact the Go Pasco, and they can arrange a ride to pick you up and deliver you to the shelter site at no charge.
For people who are on on the fence about going, staying, going, last second they wanna get into a shelter, will you ever turn someone away in a shelter?
We will never turn anybody away from a shelter. We had that during Irma, and even in the height of the storm, people are still trying to get in shelters. The county will not turn anybody away from a shelter.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
County waterways and wildlife depend